We believe that the Bible teaches that people are to take care of what God has created, and it seems to me that the climate is fast changing, and so much of what God created is now being dissipated. The melting, the changing, the heat is a signal that things in the climate needs our attention and needs it badly.
The majority of my professional life has been spent thinking about the promotion of health and taking care of kids in under-resourced areas, specifically in low and middle income countries. And really, the state of children's health in those areas are really fragile. The more you look at the data and look at what the looming problems affecting kids are across the world, climate is becoming an increasing risk to children's health. In fact, many public health experts are worried that all of the gains that we've made in childhood survival over the last 50 to 100 years could be erased very quickly with the changing climate.
One study I recently read said that by 2100, Park City could lose all of its snowpack. It just goes to show what there is to lose. It's not only a source of joy and my passion, it's water, it's agriculture, it's all these different forces of life that sustain us.
The thing about climate change is it's really a fight for my generation. I was born into the world that it is now. I grew up knowing how good things are. But I also have to live with the knowledge that the world that I'm going to build my career in, that I'm going to raise a family in, is probably not going to be the same as a result of climate change.
Certainly as a university leader, I think a lot about leaving things better than I found them. With seriousness, I realize that my generation really has not left things better for the generations that follow.
If I am supposedly a global child health expert, how can I not care about this? How can I not incorporate this into the education of my students and my residents and also into my clinical practice?
For us at the Gardner Company, we really believe in leading out on this issue. And we're also trying to show that there's a business model for a lot of these investments. I think a lot of times other companies or individuals, people are saying, well, I want to do something, but it's cost prohibitive. And we are trying to lead out and show that no, it's not. It's going to be cost prohibitive if we don't do something.
I use my voice as a pastor to talk about climate change. I use it in making announcements about events that are going on around the town. And we ask people to recycle and to do what they can to help with the environment.
I think that a really effective way to make a difference in terms of talking about climate is to really bring it back to storytelling. Because storytelling, sharing my experiences from the mountains, and then bringing it back to this broader picture of what's happening with the climate globally, that's a way that we can connect on a personal level. I can connect with elected officials.
I hear loud and clear from our student body how important the issue of climate change is for them. And the opportunity to do big things in terms of how we use energy, how we build our buildings, how we serve as a model for society, and how things can be better and more responsible.
Defeatism is just as bad as denial. And there's a quote by Winston Churchill that I really like. Sometimes it's not enough to do our best, sometimes we must do what is required. And the good news is, what is required is in many cases very beneficial for us. And there are things that we know how to do right now. We may not have the complete picture to know what our last step is going to be, but we definitely know what we need to do next.
And I believe if we started having that conversation and people started realizing the opportunities that are out there, I think we could assuage some of that fear that's out there.
Collectively, we're facing a moment of despair, but it gives us an opportunity to come together. And I think the Path to Positive group and Utah Clean Energy has done a good job in bringing people together to do that.